You mentioned the mental side of the team. How is that? I mean, the camera angles have captured some obvious moments of frustration, and it's understandable, but how are you guys holding up from a clubhouse perspective?
Yeah, I mean, we had a clubhouse meeting today, kind of talking about a little bit of the frustration that we've shown at times, and just knowing how talented our team is, and knowing that we are going to turn it around at some point. There are a few things that we do need to adjust from that mental side of the game, and we talked about it today, and we'll continue to be working on that up through the All-Star break, and hopefully we can turn things around in these last few games before we get there.
Derek Gould, St. Louis Post-Dispatch.
I mean, what were some of the things that you guys kind of identified that you could improve on? Because I know, like you said, a lot of the traits and a lot of the ingredients are there, but over the past few stretches, it seems like things have gotten worse before they get better.
Yeah, I mean, there's a few parts to it. One of the main parts is just kind of mid-game adjustments. Knowing that if you don't necessarily have the at-bat that you want in the first time through the lineup, that there probably is going to be a good chance to get a run scoring opportunity later on, and just staying engaged and being aware of how the team is pitching us, and how the team is pitching each person individually, and kind of going along with that, a little bit of that is preparation. The preparation that we talked about, I don't think we've necessarily done the greatest job of kind of making a game plan for how guys are going to throw us day by day, and working on things pregame that are specifically tailored to prepare ourselves for that. So I think we're going to kind of start to implement a few more of those things into our pregame routines, and hopefully that helps us out.
Jeff Jones, Buffalo News Democrat.
Hey, Mike, when we spoke to Tommy a bit ago, he mentioned to us that he felt that maybe some of the pregame game planning in terms of day-to-day, how they might be attacked by a starting pitcher, hadn't been good enough, he said, in the past couple of weeks. Is that something that maybe you felt, and was that also maybe part of the conversations you mentioned before the game today about maybe some of those philosophical talks you had with the staff the last couple of days?
Yeah, that's exactly right. You know, I don't want to misrepresent that the report wasn't accurate, or the scouting wasn't good, or the understanding of what we were going to do wasn't good. It was the attention to the execution of it, and whether it be through a little bit of maybe another way of thinking about preparation, and then getting towards execution, and having that mindset that we're going to stay on the ball, we're going to battle with two strikes. Yeah, we're looking to get a good pitch to hit, and we're looking to put a good swing on it, and that'll allow us to do damage. I mean, who doesn't want damage in their on their club? But we also need to be able to do what we did tonight, and I thought Eddie had good at bats, hit the ball the other way with two strikes, hit the ball hard up the middle, just took some good at bats, as did a lot of the guys, and those are the bats that, for some reason the game doesn't reward you initially when you get back to thinking about playing it in a certain manner, but it'll turn, and it kind of tests you sometimes how long you're going to be committed to it. We just got away from being committed to, all aspects of the game, and I'll take responsibility for that, but we're back on track.
Katie Wu, The Athletic.
At that point, Mike, I think that the key word that Tommy used when talking to us was that he felt like the team hadn't been as prepared in their game plan, and they needed to fix that and make some adjustments. What do you think they can do better to be better prepared when they face each starting pitcher?
Well, I think, it's really, it's a good statement, an honest statement by Eddie. I mean, look, he's speaking and owning something that is hard to own, and I don't want to misrepresent that it was, kumbaya and everybody was just kind of, but there's another layer to that attention to detail, maybe individually, collectively, and then making sure there's like I said, an execution to it. So it's just about, everybody, again, it's not like the report was erroneous or not clear or any of that. It was more about really exactly how we're going to attack and how we're going to make adjustments, and then holding ourselves accountable to doing that. And that's an area that, we have addressed.
I think that's what Tommy made pretty clear, was that it was more of on the players to be better prepared and execute a little bit better. But when the offense is skidding in the way that it has, does it almost kind of feel like you're already behind in a way for each game, and how hard can that be to overcome?
Well, I think that's, look, no one's going to make excuses. Winners just don't do that. But we can't be realistic about it. I mean, when you feel like you're playing uphill a lot, you can have some frustration, and it's harder to stay present. It's hard to stay and execute that game plan. And again, we're professionals, and the guys will not make excuse for it. I was pleased tonight. I mean, I wasn't pleased that we were down, 5-1, 6-1, 8-2, by any stretch of the imagination. Quite the contrary, quite honestly. But what I was pleased about was there was a mentality that has existed with this club for a long time prior to my tenure, and that is, irrespective of circumstance, we're going to compete, and we're going to play the game, and we're going to be prepared and stay in the present. And that's why, and this group's done that. I don't want to, you think back, and we talked about it today. We were down 7-0, and next thing you know, it's 7-7. We score 7 runs, and we got second and third in the ninth with nobody out, and couldn't push across, and the kid hit a homer in the 10th. But that's what I'm talking about. It's not anything that we've just forgotten about. This team's not capable of doing. We've played some hard-fought games. We've stayed present. We just have gotten distracted a little bit, and hadn't been able to stay in the moment and have those competitive at-bats. And quite honestly, that's been a big separator for this club, in how we play the game. And we've, I had to, and we needed to get back to reminding ourselves what that looks like. And, alibi it for a little while, and then you have to address it, because there are going to be skids, and guys are human. You don't want to beat them up, but after a while, you have to reevaluate where we're at and get back to an identity that works.